Hey there. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Fun Facts about foods around the world. Today we're going to be talking about food. So let's get started with number 1. In Italy, it used to be really embarrassing to eat pizza because it was seen as poor people's food. The reason why it was so embarrassing was because only poor people could afford to eat it, because it was made from ingredients that were already cheap to begin with, such as flour, water, tomatoes, and cheese. These days, pizza is seen as an Italian staple and can be found all over the country. Pizza also transcends age, gender, socioeconomic class, and even politics. But this wasn't always the case. During the Middle Ages, the main foods eaten in Italy were polenta, bread, and cheese. These foods are still popular in the northern part of the country to this day. But southern Italy had a much different diet due to the climate being warmer there. The people could grow fruits and vegetables year-round, which led them to eat a Mediterranean diet consisting of seafood, olive oil, fresh produce, dairy products, and wine. It just so happened that these ingredients were pretty cheap, so it made for a cheap meal. And since most people were poor at the time, they were constantly looking for ways to save money. This is how pizza became the go-to food for millions of Italians. It wasn't until recently that pizza has become more popular outside of Italy. Did you know that pizza was brought to America by Italian immigrants? They took their beloved dish to New York City and adapted it to local tastes. Ingredients like pepperoni and sausage were added to the menu, making it even more delicious than before. Nowadays, you can find all sorts of pizzas across the United States. Deep dish, Chicago style, Detroit style, California style, New York style. The list goes on. Even though Americans have put their own spin on pizza, nothing beats the original. If you ever get a chance to try authentic Italian pizza, don't miss out. It will be one of the best experiences of your life. Now moving on to fact number 2. Did you know that Japan invented square watermelons? Yes, not kidding. Japanese farmers came up with this idea because they were trying to make the most use of the space available to them. That's why they created square-shaped watermelons that fit perfectly into boxes. Plus, it makes them easier to stack and transport as well. To make these watermelons, farmers first remove the vines connecting the fruit to the ground. Then they tie each watermelon to a wooden stake to keep it upright. They do this until the watermelon reaches its desired shape and size. The result is a perfectly square watermelon. Not only does it look unique, but it also tastes delicious. Square watermelons are sweet, juicy, and refreshing. They're perfect for snacking on during the summer months or adding to a salad. And if you ever get a chance to try one, don't hesitate. You're in for a treat. Moving on to fact number 3. Did you know that in France the shape of a baguette is protected by law? Baguettes are a type of long, crusty French bread that is enjoyed around the world. They're often served with butter, jam, or honey, and make the perfect accompaniment to a soup or salad. In France, baguettes are taken very seriously. In fact, the shape of a baguette is actually protected by law. This means that baguettes must be long and thin with a golden brown crust. They must also have a uniform thickness throughout and be free of any holes or tears. Believe it or not, there is a special machine called a baguetterie that is used to make sure that each baguette is the perfect length. Once the baguettes are baked, they are placed on racks to cool before they are sold. And if you're in France, you can be sure that every baguette you buy will meet these high standards. Now moving on to fact number 4. Did you know that in Thailand people eat fried insects as a street snack? In Thailand, you can find all kinds of delicious street food from pad thai to mango sticky rice and everything in between. But one of the most popular items on the menu is deep-fried insects. These crunchy little snacks are made by frying up a variety of different insects such as crickets, grasshoppers, and cockroaches. They're then seasoned with salt, pepper, and other spices and served hot off the fryer. Fried insects may not look like something you'd want to eat, but trust me when I say that they're absolutely delicious. They have a nutty flavor with a hint of sweetness, and they're incredibly crunchy. Plus, they're also very healthy. Insects are a great source of protein and fiber, and they contain all kinds of essential nutrients that our bodies need to stay healthy. Of course, eating insects isn't for everyone. But if you're in Thailand, I highly recommend giving it a try. Who knows, you might just become an insect lover. Now moving on to our last fact of today. Did you know that India is home to the world's largest vegetarian population? With over 1 billion people, India is the world's most populated country. And of that population, over 20% are vegetarians. That's around 200 million people. But why are so many Indians vegetarian? Well, there are a few reasons. One of the main reasons is religious. For Hindus, cows are considered sacred animals, so they don't eat beef or any other meat. Many Buddhists and Jains are also vegetarian for ethical reasons. Another reason is economic. For centuries, meat has been seen as a luxury food in India. It's often expensive and not readily available. This has made it difficult for many families to incorporate meat into their diets. As a result, they've turned to vegetarianism as a way to save money. Finally, there is also a practical reason for vegetarianism in India. The country has a lot of farmland, but not a lot of grazing land. This makes it difficult to raise livestock. As a result, meat has never been a major part of the Indian diet. Instead, Indians have traditionally relied on plants for their protein. They eat a lot of lentils, beans, and nuts, which provide them with all the protein they need. Now, it's important to note that not all Indians are vegetarian. There is a significant Muslim and Christian population that eats meat. But overall, India is definitely a vegetarian-friendly country. If you visit, you'll find plenty of vegetarian restaurants and grocery stores. You may even want to consider becoming vegetarian while you're there. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something new, and most of all, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe so you never miss an episode. We've got lots of fun facts coming your way. Until next time, goodbye.